Go right ahead.
Okay, try and put signs on your back.
You think that I'm DUI? This is insanity. I can't wait till you take me into Frederick County Sheriff's Office and you take me in, and then I blow on your.
I got one tonight.
I blow on your.
If I'm trespassing.
Yes, you are, because you've been here for hours. I need your ID, sir.
Are you gonna arrest me? I'm not a threat to you guys.
I didn't say you were a threat.
I'm not resisting arrest.
The issue is not that we believe you're a threat.
Sometimes the real danger isn't on the streets, it's wearing a badge. These aren't just bad decisions or honest mistakes, these are stories of power abused, rights ignored, and innocent people targeted for no reason. But what happens when evil cops finally face justice? In this video, we're breaking down the moments where everyday citizens stood their ground and turned the tables on the officers who thought they were untouchable.
Alright, I'm gonna have you step out on field sobriety real quick. Make sure you're sober, good to drive.
Well, I'm not going to perform my field sobriety, but I will step out of the vehicle. I don't have a problem with that.
Why won't you perform field sobriety?
It was March 29th, 2025, when Levi Trumbull, a well-known YouTuber, got pulled over by Deputy Sheriff Christian Roach in Frederick County, Maryland. The reason? He supposedly ran a red light. Nothing wild, nothing unsafe. But that's where things start to go wrong. Instead of just handing the traffic ticket and letting Levi go, the officer let his own ideas take over, and things only got worse from there.
Deputy Ross, Frederick County.
Hey,
all the videos are recorded.
Yes, sir. How are you,
You ran a red
officer?
light.
What?
You ran a red light.
I ran a red light? Is that why I'm being pulled over?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Which light are we talking about?
The one at Lowe's going north of 355.
Um,
I'm not here to argue. I need driver's license registration, please.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Insurance. I know that's at least one of my registrations.
You can have this one back.
Oh, thank you. Is my license not in here? My license might not be in this car. That's crazy.
The stop should have ended as soon as Levi gave the officer his papers. But instead, the deputy went looking for something more. First, he made a vague claim about a red light, no proof, no video, just his words. Then things took a turn. The officer decided Levi must be drunk, even though Levi showed no signs of it. Roach was already playing out a story in his head because in his world, people aren't allowed to make mistakes. They're only guilty.
I have a valid license. 100%.
Where are you coming from?
Where am I coming from? I'm coming from Monrovia.
Anything you drink tonight?
Have I had anything to drink tonight? No, sir. I have not had anything to drink tonight.
You sure?
100%, yes.
What's your name?
Totally sober. My name is Levi. It's the same one on that registration card.
Okay.
Yeah, everything on that is the same. I can't believe I don't have my license on. I must have brought it in because I know I usually keep my wallet and things like that in here. But I know I took it out because I made an online purchase recently. So I guess when I took that out, I must have just not brought it back in here. But so I apologize for that. But everything on that registration card is active and current, as you can see. So yeah, I mean you have no you can run me. It's all good.
From the outside, it looked calm, just an officer running a name, checking a plate. But behind the scenes, the judgment had already been made. Officer Roach started narrating a whole different story to his partner, one that painted Levi as evasive, suspicious, possibly hiding something. Even repeating questions, a common sign of listening, became a red flag to him. And this mental leap was about to justify something far more serious.
Everything will be good.
You still live in Monrovia?
Yeah. Everything is current, so everything on that is good. Yeah, everything will check out.
I didn't, but he's getting run through it. Just because I don't smell anything doesn't mean much.
Well, no, I mean, he's dressed like he was
Out?
somewhere.
Yeah. And he straight up crushed that red light. Like, what
yeah.
the?
No question. And took a minute to pull over.
and has been repeating every single thing I've
I heard
asked him.
that. It's like he's stalling to figure out what he's going to say.
At this moment, Officer Roach wasn't enforcing the law. He was rewriting it. Levi's calm tone, clear answers, and legal awareness didn't matter. The deputy saw hesitation where there was caution, nervous glances as a sign of guilt. When Levi declined a roadside sobriety test, which was his right under the law, Officer Roach took offense, not as an officer, but as a man whose authority had been questioned.
And has been repeating every single thing I've
I heard
asked him.
that. It's like he's stalling to figure out what he's going to say. Constantly looking to the left and to the right.
Oh, officer. What's going on over there? Oh, hello, officer.
Hi, I'm gonna have you step out on field sobriety real quick. Make sure you're sober, good to drive.
Well, I'm not going to perform my field sobriety, but I will step out of the vehicle. I don't have a problem with that.
Why won't you perform field sobriety?
Why would I? Why would I give you probable cause to take me in? Do you think I'm
I already
DUI?
have probable cause to take
What's
you
the
in.
DUI?
What's a DUI?
Well, no, what is your probable cause to think that I'm under the influence of alcohol right
Driving
now?
behavior, speech patterns.
What about my speech patterns?
It's not something I'm going to get into right now. Do you want to perform field sobriety or no?
Well, no, why would I give you that? Because
Okay,
if
then
I
I'm
do,
going to take you to jail.
go right ahead.
Okay, turn put signs on your back.
You think that I'm DUI right now? This is insanity.
Officer Roach made a clear legal mistake. Levi had every right to refuse a field sobriety test. Those tests aren't mandatory in Maryland, and refusing one isn't grounds for arrest on its own. But instead of respecting that, Officer Roach jumped straight to handcuffs without any evidence of impairment. And this abuse of power was just getting started.
I can't wait till you take me into Frederick County Sheriff's Office and you take me in, and then I blow on your.
I got one tonight.
I blow on your. I'm going to blow on your actual test, and it will be completely sober, sir.
5'1", 1095.
Yeah, I'm 1095, right? I'm gonna remain silent at this point, so thank you.
That's fine. So what's going to happen now is you're going to be read your advice of rights through the MVA, okay?
Thank you.
Do you have anything on your person to cut, stick, or poke me?
No, officer, I have nothing that's going to harm you.
Okay.
Stick you, poke you.
Open your mouth for me. Lift your tongue. Up. Yep. Okay. Any piercings, dip, or anything that I've missed?
I do not have piercings, and if you ask, do I chew tobacco?
Yeah.
No, sir. I do not chew tobacco.
Okay. This could have been real easy, man. If you had anything to drink, it would have been real easy. But I'm just going down this path, so that's fine.
Officer Roach doubled down. Not only did he arrest Levi without evidence, but he also ordered the car to be towed despite no actual crime being confirmed. But then came the real problem. Levi asked for a medical test to prove his sobriety, and they told him it wasn't going to happen. No breathalyzer, no blood test, just an accusation and a punishment. Due process didn't matter, and the violations weren't over yet.
All right.
Okay. Come on.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a cell phone in there.
Oh, we're going to tow your car.
You're going to tow my car?
Yeah.
Okay. That's insane. Okay. I assume at some point there will be some sort of medical examination to determine whether I'm actually under the influence of any substances, and there won't be...
I didn't say get in. Just stand there.
Okay, that's fine. And again, I just want to reiterate for the record, I am stone cold sober. I have not had anything to drink. I have not taken any
You're not
drugs.
giving me a chance to...
Officer Roach even admitted the breathalyzer might come back clean, but still pushed forward like Levi was guilty. Even knowing there was no proof, the car was towed and the arrest stood. That's not how investigations work. That's how you punish someone for asserting their rights. Levi even asked a basic question. Was he legally required to take that field sobriety test? But instead of explaining, Officer Roach moved to something else entirely.
Besides that, so based on my observations, I'm going to take you in.
Well,
And if you want to blow zeros, that's fine. We're still within our right to tow your car.
I mean, I hear what you're
Do
saying.
this investigation, okay?
I hear what you're saying. I didn't believe, am I required by law to perform a field sobriety exercise? I didn't believe that I was.
It's called implied consent. It's on the bottom of your Maryland driver's license.
Okay.
I'm not be right. I'm just in the back. I'll do the paperwork up front. You just hang out right here. We'll do the paperwork real quick. You want to grab your stuff out real quick?
Yeah.
Officer Roach made it clear facts didn't matter, only his authority did. He openly admitted Levi might blow a zero, but said the arrest would stand anyway. That's a direct violation of due process. Refusing a non-mandatory test is not probable cause, and yet Officer Roach twisted it into justification for an arrest. When Levi calmly explained his side, the deputy lashed out, insulted his intelligence, and shut down the conversation.
I just think this is a shame tonight. This really is.
Okay, I've given you my opinion. You've given me yours.
I understand. I mean, you are
Step in the car.
arresting an individual right now who is not
Sit in the car.
Okay, I'm sitting in the car.
Based on the observations I made,
Okay, I
I'm
understand.
sure you might be under the influence. There's more than one substance.
Am I-
Just shut up and listen for a second. There's more than one substance to be under the influence from, all right?
I understand.
You're not allowing me to do the test to either confirm or deny that you're under the influence of anything, so I have to go based on my observations. So
I
I place you
understand
under
that.
arrest for that. Even if you blow zeros, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Your refusal for the test gives me probable cause. Okay?
Listen,
All right,
I do hear what you're saying.
So you want to continue to argue it and tell me how smart you are, that's fine.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. I'm
You are.
just letting
You've
you
been
know
arguing
that.
every single thing that I've done.
This is where the mask fully dropped. Despite Levi being calm and respectful, Officer Roach twisted the entire stop into a false narrative, claiming Levi fled, acted erratically, and had bloodshot eyes. None of that happened, but it didn't matter. The officer wasn't documenting facts. He was building a case to justify a baseless arrest. And when someone asserts their rights, cops like Roach don't see it as a threat.
And tell me how smart you are, that's fine.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. I'm
You are.
just letting
You've
you
been
know
arguing
that.
every single thing that I've done.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. I'm just letting you know.
Good dude.
Bro crushes a red light in front of us at Lowe's Lane. Just going northbound. So I light him up. He proceeds for a quarter mile, just refusing to stop. Slows in here, just like darting all around. Walk up, eyes are bloodshot. Hands me 2 registrations. Goes sifts through his credit card, says I don't have my driver's license on me. I'm like, okay, step out of the car, do field sobriety. I'm not performing any tests. 1095. So that's where we are now. He's like, I'm gonna blow straight zeros. Okay. I don't give a f. So he's sitting here giving me his opinion on how everything should work.
Before you find out what happened next and how the one who did nothing wrong still ended up paying the price, let me ask you something. Have you ever dealt with a cop who misused their badge like this? Someone who acted like the law didn't apply to them? Tell us your story in the comments.
So he's sitting here giving me his opinion on how everything should work.
Alright, I'll get the toaster.
I appreciate it.
Is eligible. A temporary license valid for 45 days. The following periods of suspension shall be imposed
Yeah,
against
go
your
with it.
license or privilege to drive in Maryland. If you refuse to submit to a test, your suspension shall be 270 days for a first offense and 2 years for a second or subsequent offense. If your test result is an alcohol concentration of at least 0.08, but less than 0.15, your suspension shall be 180 days. If the offense involves a motor vehicle accident that resulted in the death of another person.
One other reason, Colorado v. Bernstein, we are impounding this vehicle. Thus, we are going to conduct an inventory search as well. So, 2 for all.
I don't care? That's what he told his partner while Levi sat handcuffed in the back seat, accused without proof and arrested based on nothing but a refusal to waive his rights. He didn't care if Levi was sober. He didn't care if the arrest was unjustified. The stop had become personal. Meanwhile, they slapped Levi with a 270-day license suspension threat, all while knowing he hadn't even failed a test.
Preliminary tests that were taken. Having been so advised, do you now agree to submit to a test?
You want to take a breath test?
Yes, officer, I would. And I just would like to state for the record, I believe my vehicle is still on and running with someone. I mean, I don't know, maybe they.
It's getting towed, so the tow driver's gonna need the keys.
Well, the keys are in the ignition, so
That's fine.
yeah. But I just like I don't. It might still be running.
It probably is.
Yeah. Thank you.
After all the threats, false claims, and ego-fueled escalation, they finally gave Levi the test he'd been asking for since the beginning. The same test Officer Roach insisted wasn't necessary until now. And Levi, calm and cooperative, followed every instruction to the letter. The irony here? This was the one thing that could have prevented the arrest if they had done it earlier. But instead, they chose humiliation first.
Thank you again.
Come on now, watch your step.
Yes, officer. Thank you.
Are we doing this tonight or tomorrow?
Thinking about it. There we go. Alright, come on, Levi.
For my sake, I hope it's tonight. Stand up.
Yep. I need to take a nice deep breath. You gotta seal your mouth on the top of this mouthpiece and keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Understand that? Whenever you're ready. Come on over. Nice deep breath and keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Keep going, 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 keep going. Keep going, now you stop. Have a seat. When it's ready, we'll do that again.
Yes, officer.
Alright, come on again.
All right.
Alright, just like last time, whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Get this, Levi blew a clean 0 just like he said he would. But instead of admitting their mistake and letting him go, the officers doubled down. Now they were bringing in a drug recognition expert and threatening a full hospital evaluation. Not because they had evidence, but because Levi dared to stand on his rights. He was polite, compliant, and sober, but to them, that wasn't enough.
Keep going, 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 keep going. Now you stop.
All right.
Have a seat.
How about you? Any copies of all this? Right now I need a signature from you acknowledging that you agreed to take a breath test and took one satisfactorily. What we have now is what's called a drug recognition expert on his way to check for any additional substances.
Well, come and take my blood and urine too. That'll be a better resource to be able to run it through it. Is that funny?
Yeah, because all you got to do is take field sobriety tests and said you want to act like this.
I don't want to act like anything, sir. I have to exercise my rights.
And,
You know what I mean?
and now you're forcing this investigation. So, I mean, if you
I
enjoy
understand.
spending the night in the hospital and doing the evaluations, giving blood, that's on you.
Well, here's the thing. I don't, but at the end of the day, there are certain things that I have to do to make sure that my rights are protected because
Levi tried to do what every citizen should be allowed to do, read and understand what he was signing. But the officer didn't care. Instead of ensuring informed consent, they rushed him through the paperwork, acting like handing him a form in the dark was enough. But when you're up against the state, asking questions is treated like resistance.
when men in uniform, you guys are the state, right? And I'm considered the private. When the state comes down on the private, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'll
You
need a
understand what I'm saying?
signature, man.
Okay, I know you. I understand you need a signature. Right here.
Yeah, signature of driver. Is
So-
you as the private.
I would usually like to read all of this before I sign it, but
That's what
roughly.
was read to you and placed in front of you in your lap. You're welcome to give it a read at your actual leisure.
Was this the audio that was played back in the car? The 7 minute and 42 seconds.
Yep,
I
and
think it
placed in
was
your lap. Yep.
placed in my lap. Okay. This was in my lap the whole time. It was dark, so I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Police cars
This
are
is the
that
same
way.
document. Okay. Divisive. You have been stopped. You refuse to. No, I'm not. Well, I'm not refusing to submit to a
It
test.
says if you
Okay.
refuse to
If
submit
you
to a
refuse.
test. In the
Okay.
hypothetical
I'm making sure.
situation.
Hypothetical. Okay, listen, I would love to spend more time reading this, but I will.
Even after Levi blew a 0.00, they kept treating him like a suspect. Instead of ending the ordeal, they buried him in paperwork, documents he wasn't given a fair chance to read, let alone understand. The officer even said he didn't care if Levi signed it or not. That's not how rights work, and the final insult was still waiting.
I will sign it. I don't want to.
I mean, you're not obligated to sign it. If you want to read it, read it. I don't care.
This is the title says advice of rights, so I guess it's just notifying me of what my rights are. So
As a Maryland driver's. Yep.
yeah, okay. Which that title at the top certainly helps. Would you like this back, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. You're more than welcome. Need your pen. Thank you.
Have you signed this one quick?
And what is this one right here?
This just says you have 0.00 alcohol in your system. So there's no alcohol in your system. That's all this machine was reading for is alcohol.
I already knew that.
Alcohol? We have to do that test.
I know, that's fine.
So sign the bottom for me. It says you're receiving your copy of that paper.
Okay, so defendant signature,
Yep.
that's me.
Yep,
I am
that's
in.
you.
Okay, thank you.
The moment the drug recognition expert walked in, Levi did what most people don't. He asked what his rights were, and that question alone clearly caught the officer off guard. Notice how the cop immediately shifted tone, trying to sound cooperative? Because unlike Officer Roach, this one knew Levi wasn't just some passive suspect. He was informed, and an informed civilian ruins the script.
Monocacy at Lakes Ford, Maryland, T-Tom, 2133,
There you are. Here's your pen. This is my seat right here. Good evening, officer. How are you?
I'm Corporal Leonard, Maryland State Police. My ID is 6495. You're recording my body cam, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
It's my understanding that you've agreed to speak with me today.
I have not agreed to that. I was going to ask what's happening here right now. What are my rights as it relates to what is happening in this room right now?
Well, no trouble whatsoever. I explained that. It's totally fine. I was called a drug recognition expert, someone who's highly trained to be able to tell impairment from things other than alcohol, drugs, controlled substances, medications, things like that. Before I do anything, I do have to review your Miranda rights. But I can, before I go there, if you want, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask.
And just like that, the cracks showed. The officer admitted he wasn't medically trained, didn't take a college-level course, and based his authority on 2 state-run classes. That's all it takes to decide whether someone is on drugs? And the scary part is that these guesses can put sober people in jail. But Levi knew that.
Yeah, so what's your background?
What's my background?
Yeah, your background. You said that you analyze people, you recognize to see whether they're under the influence of drugs specifically?
Yes, sir.
So what's your background that gives you the ability to be able to do something like that?
11 years patrol of the state, and then I took not one but 2 different classes with the state police in charge of DRE, data recognition.
Like a college background?
Or not a college course, no.
Not a college course. But you did take some sort of, is it through the state of Maryland?
Yeah, yes, it is.
State of Maryland program. Okay. And you got certifications in being able to do the kind of activity that we're doing here in this room right now?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, it actually is very interesting.
So, and you've been on the force. Are you state police?
Yes, sir.
State police, huh?
So
okay.
I'm not.
There is a Frederick Barrett.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every county has one.
This is the part where Levi did exactly what you're supposed to do when the state wants to dig deeper. He shut it down. The officer read him his Miranda rights, admitting the conversation could be used against him, and Levi chose to remain silent. That decision was smart, because everything up to this point had shown that these officers weren't interested in truth, only validation. And Levi's refusal to play along made them even more desperate.
Okay. Okay, very cool.
I do have to read you your Miranda rights.
My Miranda rights, yes, sir.
Because what we're going to be talking about is going to dip into things that could potentially mean incriminate yourself. Give me 1 second. Should anything legal actually be going on? Not saying anything is, but you have to read these rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write may be used against you in court of law. You have the right to word or answer any questions and any lawyer present at any time before or during questioning. If you now want to use a lawyer, but not afford to hire one, you will not be asked any more questions at this time, and you may request a court to appoint a lawyer for you without charge. If you agree to answer questions, you may stop at any time and request the assistance of a lawyer. No further questions will be asked of you. Do you understand these rights that I've read to you?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree?
Levi invoked his Fifth Amendment rights, calmly, clearly, and lawfully, and yet, even after asserting his right to silence, the officer still tried to nudge him into cooperating with further evaluations. That's not protecting rights, that's pressuring someone to waive them. Levi had already taken the breathalyzer and passed it, but now they were moving the goalposts, hoping to find something else.
Miranda rights and also my Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, and I'm going to assert that right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much, officer. Do you have anything else for me right now?
Not at this moment. I mean, if you don't want to do the DRE eval.
Well, I mean, I am going to actually. You read me those rights. Those are my rights. Yes.
Yes, of course.
And I'm going to exercise them.
All right.
As I'm sure that you would respect or you would understand.
I'm not going to ask you anything. I was under the impression that you wanted to do the DRE eval to prove that you weren't impaired.
Well, actually, what I said to the officers earlier was we did, and I said this to them on the scene. I said, if you would like to give me a breathalyzer, I'm more than willing to take your breathalyzer to see what would come up. You know, I know it was 0, so we did that. They brought me here, and we did that. But I also said earlier that I would willfully submit to what's required, I believe, under the Maryland Transportation.
But here comes the issue. Once Levi asserted those rights, the officer admitted that they couldn't proceed with the blood test. That's how fragile this entire investigation was. It wasn't built on evidence. It depended entirely on Levi not knowing the law. The moment he did, their entire case collapsed, and that collapse left them scrambling for what to do next.
Articles, which is the requirement for blood, urine, or breath. So I've done one of those at this point. There are 2 outstanding if they would like to go about effectuating that, I'd be more than willing.
Here's the problem. It's okay if I call you Levi. It's Levi.
You can call me Levi.
Mr. Levi, that's the problem is we're working towards Bless the Flood. And now that you've invoked Miranda, I can't get you there. So that's fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to invoke my rights.
Yeah, I mean, you already did, so it's
Yes.
kind of all done with it.
Okay, well, I'm letting you know. I don't know if that's when they brought the lies in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, thank you, officer. I appreciate it. All right, I'll keep my phone. Ooh, whoops. Yeah,
All right, let me have to
I understand that. I will follow your orders and comply with your wishes.
have him sit back in the room.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What these officers didn't know was that Levi is a well-known YouTuber, and he knew from the start that he'd expose everything the moment he walked out of that station. So when bad cops finally get called out, all that's left for them is to ask themselves if they're even in the right line of work. But if you think these were the worst cops out there, oh, just wait until you see our next case. And speaking of moments when bad cops finally face justice, meet Officer John Lavallee of the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. He was so bored during his shift that he approached John Cho, a member of the Religious Society of Friends, who had parked his car at a gas station for an hour and a half to wait out a storm.
I'm just stopping for just stopping. Is that okay?
Yeah, there's people that are concerned because you've been out here for a couple hours. They want to make sure you're okay.
Okay.
You got some ID on you?
Yeah, I do, but I can move if you want.
You don't. I'm not saying you have to.
I'm just resting.
I know. I'm not accusing you of anything. They want us to check on you. I just want to know who I'm talking to. That's all.
I'm just passing through, sir.
Okay. I need your ID.
Did I commit a crime?
You're loitering.
If I'm trespassing.
Yes, you are, because you've been here for hours. Okay. I need your ID, sir.
Are you gonna arrest me?
Do I need? Do I need to?
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, you need to identify yourself. Please provide me your identification.
Officer, if I committed a crime,
yes, it's called trespassing and loitering. That's a crime.
Let's be real here. Officer Lavallee only walked up to John because he was sitting in a new car with New York plates, set up for long-distance travel with solar panels and a bike rack. John hadn't broke a single law, but that didn't stop this officer from stepping in and starting to mess with his constitutional rights, the very rights he swore to protect when he first took the job.
I don't believe I've been trespassing.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you believe. You need to provide your ID.
All I was doing, officer, was reading a book.
I need your ID.
I mean, you're gonna arrest me because
if you don't provide your ID, I will.
Just for parking my car?
For trespassing and loitering. You've been here for hours. That's not normal behavior. It's not normal behavior. I need your ID.
I don't know what you mean by normal behavior. Is that
people don't park in gas stations for hours. They come get gas and they leave. They come to the store, grab something and leave. You've been here for hours. I need your ID.
I've actually been doing this for...
Give me your ID or then you're going to be detained.
You're going to arrest me?
Potentially, yes. I'm trying to provide you an opportunity. No,
car?
I already explained to you why we're here. Provide your ID.
Sir, I didn't do anything wrong.
Provide your ID.
I'm not required to...
Yes, you are when we're investigating a complaint.
No, you're not, sir. Can I talk to your sergeant?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to get out of the car, okay? Please don't. I'm just getting out of the car.
Okay, I still need your ID.
Officer Lavallee had no evidence of a crime, just a vague complaint and a personal bias about what he considered normal behavior. But instead of investigating with facts, he went straight to threats. But here's the truth. Sitting in your car waiting out a storm isn't a crime. But to Officer Lavallee, questioning authority was, and the pressure was only beginning to mount.
You're going to provide an ID. I'm going to not keep your door open.
Okay,
I'm going to know who I'm talking to.
I just want to let you know I'm not a threat to you guys. I have no weapons.
Okay, great.
I'm just reading a book in my car.
Sir, we could have been dealt with this.
If you want to talk to your sergeant, I'm perfectly happy to wait. I'm not a threat to you guys.
I didn't say you were a threat.
I'm not resisting arrest.
The issue is not that we believe you're a threat. The issue is that we received a complaint that you've been out here for a long time.
I just parked my car to read a book. That's
I
all.
understand that,
It
but
was there was a thunderstorm.
I'm aware
You know
of
it's
that.
unsafe to drive during a thunderstorm.
Because of the nature of the complaint, and we're out here, you need to provide us with identification
I
so we know who
understand.
we're talking to.
You're being very reasonable right now. I'm trying to be reasonable as well.
You're not.
I asked
You're
you.
not.
I asked
Is
you.
there a reason? Do you have warrants or something? Do you have arrest warrants out of somewhere else?
Officer Lavallee kept shifting the story. First, it was loitering. Then it became a welfare check. Then suddenly it was a criminal investigation. That kind of inconsistency is manipulative. Under Georgia law, an officer must have reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed to demand ID. Simply sitting in a legally parked car isn't enough. But Officer Lavallee was more interested in forcing compliance.
Of another state, of another jurisdiction? I mean, I see you got.
I'm
Is
waiting.
this your vehicle?
I'm waiting for your sergeant.
That's fine.
Okay.
And when he tells you the same thing, then what are you going to do?
I will comply once your sergeant comes here.
Okay.
And tells me.
If all you need is for him to ask for the ID, then
I
good.
just want to know.
I've already explained to you.
What the law is here.
I've already told
Apparently
you.
You guys a little.
Did you run the plate?
confused. Huh?
Did you run the plate?
But we're not confused.
Yeah, clearly not confused. You're
There's
confused.
nothing illegal about walking my car to read a book. So I don't understand the fact that you've been here for hours.
From what time? So from what I think somebody inside called, they wanted us to check on it. Okay, that's what we're attempting.
And what time did they call?
They called maybe 20 minutes. That's not an hour. They said you've been here for hours. They wanted us to check on you. So because they're wanting us to check on you, that's why we're speaking with you right now.
I'm just trying to protect my constitutional
Right.
rights.
I understand that, but us asking you to identify yourself isn't a violation of your constitutional right. It is not, because you're required to identify yourself when we're investigating the nature of the call. If you refuse to identify yourself, that is a criminal offense and you could go to jail for that. Sir, if I'm committing a crime, I have to give you a driver's license and my license.
This is where it became undeniable. Officer Lavallee wasn't investigating, he was profiling. He speculated about warrants from New York without evidence, made a point to highlight the man's Asian last name, and admitted he hadn't confirmed anything through the plates. Instead of facts, he leaned on suspicion, assumptions, and racial bias. And when the legal basis fell apart, he started grasping for trespassing.
This guy.
Oh, he's been out here for hours.
What's in the water lately?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Because he's been here for hours. The employees like, car's running now, it's not. They've been out. So he's just refusing to identify himself.
Trespassed?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I just want to know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to somebody who's got a murder warrant, for all I know. He's out in New York. So I'm trying to get something back on the plate, but I'm not sure if that's him or not. So I haven't done anything wrong. Well, maybe you haven't, but you've been here for hours, which is not normal behavior, and now you're just refusing to identify yourself, which makes me really concerned. So yeah, I need to go talk to them about potentially trespassing them, but I was like, let me see if I can find something through the vehicle information, which is what I'm trying to look up now, which
I noticed
he's got
the name on it was like an Asian name, wasn't it?
Oh, it's an Asian dude, yeah.
And he is Asian.
Yeah, so there's a chance. I'm trying to maybe work around it, but he's just really is
he saying anything about why he's here, what he's doing?
I'm reading a book.
At this point, Officer Lavallee had completely abandoned any legitimate cause for investigation. With no crime, no complaint of harm, and no signs of danger, he still tried to justify the stop by pointing to power cords and travel gear, items perfectly normal for someone on a road trip. Instead of recognizing this as a peaceful traveler, he twisted it into suspicion.
I haven't committed a crime. Well, I'm not. You've been loitering, which is not normal behavior to be here for hours.
Yeah.
So, let me I'll go talk to him, but I was trying to at least know, am I talking to somebody who's running from something? I mean, it's not, if you're from New York and you're just traveling through, I don't know that that's what he's even doing. He's got a bunch of stuff in his car, like he's, like power cords and everything, other stuff in there. So you can go look in there and talk to him. I'll see if they want to trespassing, but I was trying to at least, I think it's just a red flag when you this isn't a consensual encounter. We're asked to be here because the employee was concerned.
Officer Lavallee was so dumb because he openly admitted he had no concrete information, no active warrant, and nothing coming back on the plate, but still kept digging for a reason to escalate because the man was from out of state, looked different, and didn't immediately comply. It's clear that this was about control, and control in this case was about to cross a serious line.
I'm gonna go talk to her, but I just wanted someone else to be here because I don't know anything about this guy. He's from out of state, which...
Go see what they want to do, because if they want to trespass him, obviously then we can push him a little harder.
Yeah. Okay. I'll roll it up. I'll roll up the window.
That's what you were just doing, yielding anything?
I haven't. I've gotten. They said it's not coming back. But he's got somebody with this name is out in New York, but I don't see like a. I'm trying to look for. It's super sketch. Yeah, somebody out of Flushing, New York, an apartment up there.
And when they run it, it doesn't come back with a picture.
They said they didn't get anything back. I don't know what that, I mean.
Can you believe Officer Lavallee actually went out of his way to radio his colleagues, hoping they could dig up anything on John? He was one of those cops who made an arrest first and then looked for a reason later. And in this case, to justify what he was doing, he needed to find something that could make John look like a criminal, no matter the cost.
Yeah, I just need to know, number one, does he have any warrants? And number two, I mean, he's refusing to identify himself, so I'd like to see a picture to know this is who I'm talking to. Okay, can you go ahead? Really? I didn't know that. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, man. All right, bye.
When the search for a criminal record came up empty, Officer Lavallee did what cops like him always do. He went looking for a new excuse. That's why he walked into the gas station, not to investigate, but to build a story. If he couldn't get something from dispatch, maybe a nervous employee would give him the justification he needed.
Do you want a barn?
Good morning, huh?
He's coming from, he's not even from here. He's from New York. So I don't know what he's got going on.
I mean, I wasn't even going to call him, but it's like every weekend, this is something that's happening to me.
Yeah,
like
happened last weekend.
Yeah, last Saturday,
Okay.
I was sitting on pump 7 for about an hour.
Yeah, no, that's not normal behavior. I agree.
Different.
And he's been out there since about 5:45.
Okay.
I mean, it was pouring down raining, so I was like, maybe they just needed to pull over, but come in and say something. We open at 6 a.m. I don't know what the hell you doing.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's you tucked in the corner. It's like that's how things. I get it. Do you want a barn or do you want? What do you want to do?
I mean,
you can. It's up to you. I mean, I don't work for the store. You.
I mean, he hasn't came in here and did anything, but I don't want to bar him for no reason. But hell, I need him to get off this property.
Okay.
Go somewhere else. But
okay.
I probably should go ahead and bar him because he's gonna come back and say you're the one called the cops on me. Probably.
I mean, I don't know this guy. He's not from here. He's from New York. So.
You can bar him. I really want to take this hard.
Okay.
I'm scared.
I get it. It's a crazy world we live in.
Especially on the east side.
This was the moment Officer Lavallee's plan clicked into place. After coming up empty on a criminal record and getting nowhere with his threats, he manufactured a reason to demand ID. By nudging the employee just enough, he got what he needed, a decision to bar John from the property. Now Officer Lavallee could call it a criminal trespass warning.
Yeah, they want a barn.
You want a barn?
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you the nature of our investigation.
So here's the thing. They want to bar you from the property. Okay, that's on them. That's their right to do. So in order to do that, at this point in time, it is a criminal trespass warning. Okay, it's not an arrest. However, it is something where we do need your ID so that we can fill out the paperwork and officially make it that you are barred from this property. Okay, so at this point in time, because they want to do that, we are going to need your ID.
Okay, I just need to fully understand what's going on. So I parked my car here during the rain. They called you, I don't know exactly when, but when you guys arrived, you asked for my ID. Mm-hmm. I refused to give my ID because I didn't believe I did anything wrong. But now you went to the manager or whoever this person is, and they are asking for a bar. I'm just trying to explain.
They're trespassing you from the property.
Trespass warning. So what they're doing is they are barring you. They are trespassing you from the property, which means if you return back here, then you will be arrested for trespass.
Now that he'd finally cornered John with a technicality, Officer Lavallee hid behind procedure. He framed the entire situation as routine, as if this wasn't something he engineered from the start. But here's the truth. There was no prior issue. No reason to bar John except the one Officer Lavallee helped create. And just when John thought this was over, it wasn't.
Okay? So for that process, we will need your ID, okay?
So just so I understand, they're asking me to leave.
No, they're telling you you're not back allowed on this property. They're making an official report and documenting that you're not allowed on this property.
Okay, I haven't been here before.
It doesn't matter, sir.
I'm just trying to
No,
understand.
you keep on trying to string it
You
along.
say you keep trying to understand, but we're explaining to you the process.
And you just keep on going in circles.
So,
We're not going to keep doing
And you
this.
keep going back to the point that we've already explained. All right? So here's the thing. We get your ID. We put it in the system. We trespass you from the property. You're on your way. You're never going to return here again, so it's not going to be a problem for you, right?
I
so
wasn't planning
we
to
make it
come back.
official, and we move on. And that's that. That's the end of it right there.
So,
okay?
Sir, I was not planning to come back here.
Okay.
So,
Okay, but we have to make it official still
That's
for
right.
their request. Now, if you don't like that, you can call into corporate and you can complain about that.
I don't know what this company is.
It's Murphy's.
Okay.
Okay, it's the Murphy's gas station.
Okay.
But right now, the people that are on site, who are the ones that have the authority to do that, that's what they want to do. Okay, so we're going to move forward with that process. And
So
if you want to call them and complain, you
Yeah.
can do that later. And if management or someone above them wants to go ahead and lift that or do something about it, that's on them. But right now, right here, people on site who are the people who have responsibility.
Lavallee didn't care that John was trying to go to church. He didn't care that no crime had occurred. All he cared about was obedience. When John asked a simple, valid question, what happens if I say no? He was met with thinly veiled threats and a lecture about not listening. And now he was ready to punish him for thinking twice.
That is what they're wanting to do, and so that's what we are moving forward with.
Okay, so
Okay?
again,
So-
just to understand the process.
We've explained it multiple times now.
Are you going to provide your ID or not?
So that's what I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So in this instance, if I refuse to show my ID, what's going to happen next?
It's considered obstruction and failure to identify yourself through a law enforcement officer in the legal course of their duty.
And you're going to arrest me and take me to jail? Is that it?
If you refuse to identify yourself while we're trying to do our jobs, yes, sir. It's as simple as showing the ID, we trespass you, and we all move on.
I was
for the
hoping to
day.
go to church today, but if you're going to arrest me, go ahead.
Is that really the route you want to go?
Why won't you just show us your ID?
I'm just trying to protect my constitutional rights.
You're
This is
not, though.
rights
You're
that
not.
All I did was stop during the rain,
Right.
be safe,
For a long period of time
and then
In a
now
club-
you're arresting me
before not
because
identifying
I didn't
yourself.
show my ID. It doesn't-
No, because you
doesn't sound right.
trespassed. No, you stop.
I'm
Okay,
willing-
wait.
Listen to what
Stop.
he's saying, because you've said
You
the same
didn't
thing
just
over
pull
and
over
again.
for 5 minutes. Okay? Stop talking. Let me finish. You keep interrupting and not listening.
Okay.
You were here before this business even opened.
According to Officer Lavallee, John's only crime was making someone uncomfortable. That's it. Not theft, not trespassing, just sitting in his car long enough for someone to assume he might be up to no good. Officer Lavallee ran with the assumption like it was probable cause. And now, under the banner of protecting private property, he was about to use state power to silence dissent.
Okay? You caused the employees to be fearful because they were not sure what your purpose was for being here for a long period of time. Okay? What your behavior isn't normal. So they said, hey, we're concerned that people, stake out things. They look for businesses that are closed so that when they open or close, they can rob them. I'm not saying you were going to do that, but your behavior caused them concern. Therefore, they called the police, who came to inquire about what your purpose was for being on this property. So, due to that nature of that complaint, we're going to identify you to figure out what your purpose is for being on this property. You have a chance to alleviate our concerns. Part of that is identifying yourself. We need to know who we're talking to. We don't know you, okay? And then, on top of that, because your actions made them concerned, they don't want you back on the property. So therefore, we have to identify you to document that you're not allowed on this property again, and you're refusing to comply. So you had the chance to alleviate our suspicion, fine. But during the course of that, you're required to identify yourself. And furthermore, identify yourself so they can bar you from this property, which is their right. This is private property. So you need to identify yourself. This doesn't have to be that complicated. We could have been gone. We could have been on our way by now.
This was the moment Officer Lavallee dropped the mask completely. He mocked John for standing up for his rights, called it a crusade, and dismissed his decision to remain silent as illogical. When John calmly accepted the risk of arrest to defend his principles, the officer scoffed at him, because to Officer Lavallee, anyone who resists, even politely, must be put back in line.
But you're trying to go on a crusade for something that I'm not sure what's going through your mind, but it's not really logical.
You can start.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as I said, I'm willing to be arrested if that's what you guys want.
No, stop. Oh, no. That's garbage.
That's not what
We want you to
We
identify
want you
yourself.
to identify
Stop.
who you are. We want
You're not a
everybody to
martyr,
move on with their
okay?
day.
Just identify yourself so we can move along and be
I just wanted to
done.
go to church this morning.
Okay, well you can.
wanna arrest me,
Oh, wait.
go
You want to
ahead.
go to church? You want to go to church? Right? You just said you want to go to church? Let me see your ID. You'll be out of here within 5 minutes. You can go right to church. You don't want to go to church. You want to try to make yourself into something that you're making it something that it's not.
Okay.
So
I've said
you
my
can
piece.
leave in the last few
Sir, I've
minutes.
said my piece. So
Okay.
I'm going to cooperate and get arrested if that's
Is
the
that-
process.
If really the route that you want to go is something as simple as this.
That's not what
All
I want.
you need to do
That's the
is give me
process.
your ID or give us your name and date of birth, and we will be moving on. You will be down
this
the
your
road
vehicle?
going to church.
Even after John invoked his right to remain silent and asked for legal counsel, Officer Lavallee kept pushing. The law is clear. Once someone asks for a lawyer, questioning stops. But this cop ignored that. He kept pressing, circling back to the same demand, hoping pressure would break John's will. And what the officer did next proved he never planned to walk away quietly.
Is this your
I
vehicle?
think this will clear up very quickly once I speak to a judge.
Okay, go ahead. But is this your vehicle?
Like I said, I'm willing to be arrested, and I'm not going to speak anymore because you're telling me I'm going to be arrested.
We're asking you to identify yourself. We're not trying to have. We're going in circles.
You're detaining me.
Yeah,
It
we're
sounds like
detaining you.
You're going to put me under arrest. At that point, I would like to talk to a lawyer, and I'm not going to say anything else because I know anything I say can be.
We're not asking you to say anything.
Yeah,
We're
this
simply
isn't-
asking for your ID.
We've already talked.
Okay.
This is an argument over ID, not.
I've stated what I.
You
I
keep
want to
talking
do.
though.
And the problem is, until you get positively identified, you're going to remain sitting there.
Officer Lavallee couldn't stand the fact that John wouldn't break. He mocked him for wanting to go to church, accused him of contradicting himself, and even misrepresented the legal process, claiming he wouldn't see a judge, just get booked and bonded. That's false, and he knew it. He wanted to corner John into submission, to force him into saying yes on Lavallee's terms. And when that didn't work, he moved to the one thing he had left.
In front of a judge, this is going to look very silly, but I'm willing to go through the process.
Because I thought you wanted to go to church and you're not planning to come back here. But yet you want to go before a judge? You're really contradicting yourself.
This is literally one of the simplest and easiest things we deal with on a daily basis. Daily basis. So will you provide us with your ID?
Sir, I've already spoken. I'm willing to be arrested and speak to a judge about this whole process.
You don't get to speak to a judge. You get booked. It's a misdemeanor charge. You get a bond. That's not how it works. So will you provide your ID, yes or no?
I'm willing to go through the whole
No,
criminal
that's
justice
no.
process.
This isn't you. Will you
I've talked
provide
to a
your Will you
lawyer.
provide your ID or not?
And you're saying I may not speak to a judge, but I think if anyone sees what's going on,
How you're
they
not
are
cooperating? All it's
ridiculous.
asking for is something as simple as your ID. Will you provide your ID, yes or no?
Officer Lavallee tried to frame this as John's fault, claiming they could have all moved on if he had just handed over his ID. But let's be clear, this was a trap. He kept repeating that the ID demand was lawful, but never once explained why sitting in a car during a storm justified a criminal investigation. He wanted to skip due process and label resistance as obstruction.
So you're refusing to comply with his lawful order to provide your ID
I'm
in
willing to
furtherance
be-
of his investigation and the barring that has been requested as well.
I'm willing to be arrested.
We're not asking if you're willing to be arrested, we're asking for an ID.
You told me I'm going to be arrested, so
I said you
Warning
can
of
be
the
arrested.
consequences of if you fail to
Okay.
identify yourself
Right.
and comply with this process.
I've done
Because
nothing.
it's not, we're asking you, but you need to understand it's not a request. It's not a question. It's a, you need to identify yourself at this point in time. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't understand why we can't just move on from this. You'd be on your way, we'd be on our way. And it would be as simple as that.
I understand.
Okay.
So, out of New York, but they don't return with a driver's license photo. New York doesn't return driver's license photos. So it's not saying there's any warrants, but
However, just when you thought this whole situation had gone too far and that Officer Lavallee was finally going to give up, since it was clear he had no reason to arrest John, he decided to go back and talk to the gas station attendant. And of course, along the way, he threatened her civil rights too. But at this point, nothing surprises us anymore, right?
do you have your ID so I can?
I know my license number.
Okay. What is it?
0499 45693.
Okay. I'll be back.
Okay.
How long do you want to borrow him for?
2 years.
Okay. So you guys, what time did you get here?
I've been here since about 5:20.
Was he here then?
No, he pulled up around 5:45.
And what happened? What did you see?
I mean, he had the car running for a while at first, so I thought maybe they would just wait till.
Did he get out of the car?
Never got out. I thought maybe because it was pouring down so bad, maybe they pulled over just to, get out of the rain. And then I had a customer saying that some of the gas stations were closed because.
Even with no incident, no threat, and no contact between John and the store, Officer Lavallee kept probing, hoping to twist ordinary behavior into suspicious intent. The attendant clearly said that John never came inside. He arrived shortly before opening, and he sat in the lot during a storm. That's basic human behavior. But Officer Lavallee did not like this story.
They had a power outage. So I didn't say anything. I thought maybe they just needed a minute. So I had to start my safe at 6 a.m.
Okay.
They were still sitting there. So
Was he the only one in the parking lot?
it takes the safe about 2 minutes to open. So now I'm looking like, okay, you're still sitting here.
So what time did he get here how long was he here before you opened the safe?
About 15 minutes for the start of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll meet you inside. We started at 6 a.m. It takes about 10 minutes for the open. But he never came in while I had left. He hasn't been in at all. But he got here about 15 minutes before the start of it. And then he's been sitting here ever since. So I was trying to wait to see if he was just trying to wait until the rain subsided. know, he kept sitting, so.
The employee had no complaint at first, only a vague feeling of unease, which she herself admitted was based on not knowing who was in the car. But this cop kept steering her, not so subtly planting the idea that John might have been waiting for the safe to open. It was textbook. Take a neutral moment, frame it in fear, and spin it into probable cause.
And I didn't know if it was a man or a woman. I didn't know if they were okay or what. They just in there.
Were you just concerned? Were you just concerned about their safety, or were you concerned that they're for your safety?
I was concerned about my safety and theirs because I don't know. I don't work too many places. They be out there deep doing, don't pass out, don't hit fentanyl and stuff like that. OD. So I come from programs and fentanyl. People pass out at the bathroom. Maybe somebody pass out at the gas station at the pump.
So, were you concerned just about his safety, or were you concerned that?
Both.
Okay. So, what made you concerned for your safety?
Because I know I got to start that safe at 6 a.m. and this car is already sitting out here, so I don't know if they're waiting on me to start it or open it or what.
And just like that, Officer Lavallee made it official. After all the fishing, framing, and manufactured concern, he arrested John, not for a crime, but for refusing to give up his rights fast enough. Officer Lavallee couldn't stand the fact that John wouldn't back down, so he used the badge to force compliance the only way he knew how, by putting him in handcuffs. And what followed exposed even more.
We're gonna go to jail. All right, put your hands on your back, please. Thank you.
Let me buy this one on the car.
I don't know, like, if you're like on a crusade or something, man. Is there anything else gonna poke, stick, or cut me?
No, I don't have anything sharp.
Okay, thank you. Is this your car? Do you have the keys?
I'd like to talk to a lawyer.
Well, I'm just saying, the car's left here. Can you turn face that way, please? Thank you.
My phone.
Okay. I'm searching, dude.
Once John was in handcuffs, Officer Lavallee's tone shifted to condescending, defensive, and petty. He mocked John for now answering questions he wasn't legally obligated to answer earlier, and tried to twist cooperation into contradiction. But John never posed a threat, never broke a law, and never resisted. Even Officer Lavallee admitted it himself that this arrest was about refusal to identify.
Now you want to tell me everything but what I needed to know.
Just in case.
Just in case what? It's going with you. I'm not taking it.
Okay.
I
just don't want to be a threat, so you don't hurt
What are
me.
you talking about? What are you talking about? You're really trying to...
You put me in handcuffs.
Because you're under arrest for refusal to identify yourself.
Okay, now you're searching me. I just want
That's
to make
your
sure.
search incident to arrest.
I'm just letting you know that.
What are you letting me know?
There's nothing.
Okay, your search incident to arrest. Okay, I already asked what I wanted to ask. Now you want to give me a play-by-play of what's in your pocket. Like, if you said there's nothing's going to poke, stick, or hurt me, okay,
That's
great.
key. And
I'm
some
not
writing pads.
Okay, now you want to answer everything but what I asked you, which is what your name was, and for your ID.
I'm not a danger to you.
I didn't say you're a danger to me. Nobody said that.
You can literally search every single
You're really
person
trying to
just
make
tell
something
them
and you're
it's
not.
right. It doesn't matter who they are or what the reason for the arrest is. Everybody gets searched and identified.
I have nothing dangerous on me.
I didn't say that. Nobody said that.
No weapon.
Nobody said that.
Nothing
Nobody said you're
sharp.
dangerous. There you go. If you want to sit in there, have a seat.
After the illegal arrest came an illegal search. I don't even have to tell you that Officer Lavallee had no right to do what he did. He just wanted to drag things out as long as possible to teach John a lesson, to make sure he'd never stand up to a cop again, even when that cop is in the wrong. I really hope Officer Lavallee faces real consequences for his actions, and that John sues him for public embarrassment and emotional distress. Think that was bad? You haven't seen anything yet. In the next video, we're diving into a case that's even more outrageous. Some officers don't just cross the line, they erase it completely. So don't miss what's coming next.